All right, Alec, how's it going?
It's going good.
Epic rap battles of history. I've seen every epic rap battle of history. You've seen some here and there that we'll get to and have gotten to. You have
Yep.
studied history, all history, including iconic historic figures like Genghis Khan, Easter Bunny,
Yeah.
Napoleon,
Classics.
Napoleon, and other such figures.
Classics.
Yes.
Classics all.
And we're going through chronologically, so theoretically they get better and better. You know,
Except for
better.
maybe last time. That wasn't much better. That was
Well, you fall into some little potholes
that,
along the
yeah.
way.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, Gandalf versus Dumbledore, it just
Is
makes our brights brighter. The
yeah,
fact that we've experienced that.
it's true. And I had seen that one before. I didn't remember it being that embarrassing.
It was
But
great at the time. It was the best thing you'd ever seen.
probably.
That's how it translates 10 years later.
Probably, yeah.
All right, so today we have two authors, Dr.
Oh,
Seuss and Shakespeare, duking it out.
I feel like I've possibly seen this one.
You've probably seen all of them at this point.
No, there were earlier ones that I hadn't seen. I might have. This might have been the era where I was keeping up with it, you know.
Okay.
So I might have seen this one, but
Then the whole next season you've seen.
probably not. Not the whole season, but yeah.
All right, Dr. Seuss and Shakespeare. Where is your stance on this classic debate?
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
You
Obviously,
know the classic
um,
saying: "One fish is worth two in the."
two in the Julius Caesar
Yeah.
classic Shakespeare history play. Yeah. So Dr. Seuss, also known as Theodore Geisel,
Oh,
was a children's author and a classic revered author. Made such hits as The Grinch Who Stole Christmas and the other book that I mentioned, I'm not going to say again, and Green Eggs and Ham, which I actually really like that one. That one might be my favorite.
really?
Because that was
It's one of those finer works.
that was the challenge to write a book only using 100 unique words.
I kind of the Green Eggs and Ham always rubs me the wrong way. Like if you read the language they're putting out there, it's like they're really forcing this. They're making this dude uncomfortable. Like, you want
I suppose.
this? You want this?
I suppose. But I do. But one of my favorite. I do love the line. I do not like them, Sam. I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. I just. I don't know. It's so punchy and
It is
perfect.
nice, but no
It's.
means no at some point. It's like
I suppose
Jesus.
that's true. Yeah, Sam. I am really does need to, to figure it out at some point. I guess. Yeah.
I do
So
not
yeah.
like them. He like keeps saying it,
Yeah.
asserting, "I do not like them." He's trying to be respectful.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's Dr. Seuss wrote tons of really great books, and I enjoyed them when I was younger.
They still
I
hold
still,
up.
they still do, no, they do still hold up.
I
They're
mean, yeah,
charming children's books.
not my thing. Not into it.
You're not into it, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't read
You
them.
don't, all right? I don't really read them regularly, but and then William Shakespeare. I have a lot of Shakespeare to brush up on. I've probably only read a handful of his plays. Only a couple of them performed. I saw probably like one of the strangest ones performed. It was A Winter's Tale,
Okay,
which I don't know if you know much about that
I
one, but
don't.
it's um it's weird. Because like the two halves of the play are like completely different from each other. They have like completely different tones and different settings. It's very bizarre.
Hmm.
I remember finding it kind of off-putting. I enjoyed it, but it was weird. I think that's the one that also has a stage direction of exit left to be eaten by a bear or something like that. I don't remember if that's A Winter's
You know
Tale or if
what?
that's another one. Yeah, there's a really fun stage direction where it's like pursued by a bear or something, and I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't remember if it's that or if that's Midsummer Night's Dream. I don't think.
Pursuant of Bearith. So you're a Shakespeare fan?
Yeah, I like Shakespeare. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of his stuff that I still need to read. A A lot of his histories I haven't read, like the Henry series.
Hmm.
I haven't done stuff like oh, it's a very Shakespeare is always a very frequent category on Jeopardy. And yes, I am 67 and I watch Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's great. Yeah.
I love Jeopardy.
Did you?
Shakespeare comes up very often, and I wish I knew a little bit more about it. You know, I haven't like read Othello or um, The Tempest or things like that. So definitely someone I could use more of, but very big appreciator of Hamlet, and I do like A Midsummer Night's Dream quite a bit as well. And Romeo and Juliet's overrated.
Hmm.
I like Romeo and Juliet, but I mean it's fine. I'm not overly fond of that one.
We should review
Uh,
the Leonardo
I,
DiCaprio movie sometime.
but I do like Hamlet quite a lot.
So if you had to pick one to put your stake into,
Well, Theodore Geisel has some home connections to me. I think he lived in New Hampshire for a little bit. I live in New Hampshire, so Dartmouth College I think has a Geisel School of Medicine, which is named after him, his
okay.
family. I believe. Don't quote me on that. But there's some Dr. Seuss connection around here. So just because of that, I would
Okay.
I would go for him because he has homegrown connections.
All right. Let's hope he doesn't embarrass your state in this
I
battle.
guess figure it out.
Come bite my thumb, I hope you know the stakes. I'll put a slug between your shoulder blades, then I'll split right through yonder poser breaks. I have seen iambic on that assy bastard. My rhyme's a classic. Your crap is drafted by kindergartner high on acid. Yo, man, you're an old white soldier boy who has no swag and no gonads. Egads, it's so sad. And to top it off, you're not a doctor. I've never seen a softer author. You crook, you. I bet you wrote the Twilight books too.
Timely. It was timely to hate Twilight.
It was.
Would I, could I, on a boat, read any of the boring ass plays you wrote. Even Horton doesn't want to hear you, and City Lou Who is afraid to go near you. You bore people to death. You leave a classroom looking like the enemy band. I entertain a child. You gotta translate what you said on the opposite page. How you gonna battle with a cat in the hat? Little kids get scared when I step on the mat. Think your ruffleneck ass gonna rap to that? I got a best-selling book about me coming back. I'm switching on my style like the Beatles with my pieces. Each is such a wonder with a plethora of features. You're pathetically predictable. You think you're doing binding through the trisyllabic meter and some ghetto muppet creatures. The bar is the building, it's a castle, my boss. Better parliament, a positive, I'm killing it to feel it than the plague. And never caught a cholera of alla on some cricket bowl of business while you're sitting in the bleachers. You rap fast, you do. Yes, you rap fast, it's true. Now let's see how you rap versus things 1 and 2.
Yo, you may have wrote the script, but now we're running the show. You can take your fancy words and send them back home to your mama. Break a foot off in your ass with a beady pajamas. Then we'll cook you up and eat you with some ham and green eggs. Break up with your name, make no mistake. Be in the rain, all does not end well. When we bust out a game, you getting upstage, Bill. Yo, you just got played.
Is he okay? Did he give you all right? That was amazing. It was that one. He's like, it sounded like a siren after a little while.
Yeah.
Well, that's I don't know. I want to call that like too close to call in boxing terms.
Okay.
That's going to be come down to points, I think.
All right.
That was close.
Dr.
And
Seuss
I
didn't
really
say
like
a
both.
word.
Yeah, he did. He didn't. He let all his characters go for him.
Yeah. Shakespeare did it all himself.
Some of those fast rhymes though, man. That was pretty great. Pretty slick.
Mm-hmm.
I also felt like the material was slightly deeper this time than we're used to.
Yeah.
If only slightly. So I like that.
All right, you want to go line by line?
Do it.
All right. Come bite my thumb. Great line. I hope you know the stakes. I'll put a slug between your shoulder blades, then ask what light through yonder poser breaks. So, a slug, that could be a bullet.
Yeah.
That could also be, there's a measurement in the UK, I believe, is like a slug. It's like,
yeah. That's right.
What is it? It's a unit, it's a measured weight.
Right.
Apparently, a common punishment in Shakespeare's time was to bend someone over at the waists and pin their arms outstretched to the sides and place a weight between their shoulder blades.
Yes. That's right.
That's
yeah.
fun.
Cool. See, that's a slightly deeper cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I has been iambic on that ass, ye bastard.
I love it. That's great. I mean, iambic pentameter is the preferred rhyming scheme of many of Shakespeare's things. I think sonnets have to be in iambic pentameter. I think. Don't quote me on that. I need to brush up on my poetry too.
Yeah, I'm not a big poet.
Yeah, that's another form of writing where I'm a noob. I appreciate poetry though very much. So.
My rhymes are classic. Your crap is drafted by a kindergartner high on acid. Ye ho bag, you're an old white soldier boy who has no swag. And no gonads, ye gads, it's so sad. Wasn't Shakespeare the first one to use the word swag? Like, I'm pretty sure he was the first one to have the recorded use of the word swag.
Maybe. I don't actually know that.
Okay.
Very possible though.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like swagger?
Based on this, they said specifically he invented the word swagger, from which swag is derived. Yeah.
Swagger. Yeah. So I figured probably when someone swaggers, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. And to top it off, you're not a doctor. I've never seen a softer author. You crook you, I bet you wrote the Twilight books too.
That's kind of lame. Not gonna lie. Come on, man, step it up.
Which part, the Twilight line or all of it?
That whole kind of thing was kind of. Not,
you don't like you're not a doctor, but he's not a doctor. And you're named Dr. Seuss.
No, I know that part's okay. I guess it's just the Twilight thing then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Twilight sucks.
Easy pickings. Yeah, we all know. Yeah.
All right, then the Cat in the Hat comes in. I would not, could not on a boat read any of the boring ass plays you wrote. Even Horton doesn't want to hear you, and Cindy Lou Who is afraid to go near you. So you just dropped a bunch of references right there.
Right in a row, yeah.
You bore people to death. You leave a classroom looking like the end of Macbeth.
Because very, very bloody ending of Macbeth. Everybody's dead.
And most school children do not enjoy Shakespeare, at least from my experience.
Yeah. What? I don't know if this is if it's really a thing, but I remember in a lot of cartoons, think of Hey Arnold, where they have we doing the Shakespeare play. That's no, it wasn't just that. It was Jimmy Neutron did it too. We're doing Shakespeare. It's who does an elementary production of a A Midsummer Night's Dream is the only one that I could really think of that would kind of work in terms of a school children play, because it's kind of light and airy. It's a comedy. It's a Shakespeare's comedy, but that one's kind of a fun one of mistaken identity and mixed messages, and it's miscommunication, and that one's fun. But let's do Macbeth. Who does a children's version of a horrible, violent tragedy? Yeah, I don't know if that's actually a thing. I never came across that in my personal experience, but I went to a tiny high school, so
I don't know. I've never been a part of a production, but I know in our 7th grade class, not elementary school but middle school, we would do different. They had different groups doing different parts of the play, and you were supposed to memorize your lines and everything.
Oh, okay.
I remember Midsummer Night's Dream was one of them. I don't remember what the other options were.
Yeah, I read that in middle school, but when we were doing that, we would just take turns reading it. We wouldn't reading lines, and we'd have different people would be assigned different characters, but we wouldn't have to memorize anything or act it out or anything like that. So
yeah.
Anyway,
I entertain a child of any age. You gotta translate what you said on the opposite page. So that was No Fear of Shakespeare. Do you have those when you were growing up?
I didn't, but I had heard of them.
Yeah.
I knew that where it's like, yeah, essentially one page is
It's just like normal English.
normal
Yeah.
English. Yeah.
How you gonna battle with the cat in the hat? Little kids get scared when I step on the mat. You think your ruffled neck ass gonna rap to that? I got a best-selling book about me coming back.
The cat in the hat comes back.
Yeah, best-selling book right there.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, little kids get scared when I step on the mat because the cat in the hat is kind of a. Even in his book was kind of he would overstep, he would cross the line several times,
Yeah.
and the kids were like, "Just stop!" And eventually just had to be like,
Yeah.
"No, get out of here."
Yeah, and then of course there's a movie which steps on all kinds of bounds.
Yeah.
That steps over every bounds, including it not really being a kids movie,
Mm.
or having jokes that do not belong anywhere near a kids movie.
All right, so here comes Shakespeare. I'm switching up my style like the Beatles with my pieces. Each is such a wonder with the plethora of features. You're pathetically predictable. You think your new book might include a trisyllabic meter and some ghetto Muppet creatures.
Trisyllabic.
That was what Dr. Seuss used, I guess.
Yeah.
Ghetto Muppet creatures.
I mean, I guess like the Lorax, you'd say was kind of a, right? I guess you'd say he is sort of that, right? A ghetto Muppet creature. I mean, a lot of his characters are fuzzy looking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's what that is about. Makes sense.
The Bard is in the building. It's a castle. I'm a boss. I've been in Parliament. I'm positive I'm killing it. I'm iller than the plague I never caught or cholera. I ball a baller on some cricket bowler business while you're sitting in the bleachers. Okay, so he starts with the Bard is in the building.
Yep.
That was a nickname for Shakespeare, the Bard.
Yep. The Bard.
It's a castle. I'm a boss. I've been in Parliament. I'm positive I'm killing it. What does that mean? I bet I'm Parliament. It's a castle. I'm a boss. I bet I'm Parliament.
I don't know. I don't think I know that. I don't think I know that reference. I think I know what some of the later ones though.
I'm positive I'm killing it. I'm iller than the plague I never caught or cholera.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, he stayed remarkably healthy for considering the time period he lived in, and was able to output a lot of content.
Yeah. A baller on some cricket bowler business while you're sitting in the bleachers.
Apparently he did something with cricket. I don't know that one either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I'm looking at basically everything I do as a guide. I'll look on like Genius, which usually is for like rap lyrics, and it has epic rap battles on there.
Yeah.
And a lot of meaning to it. There's not really a good one for this though. Alright. You rap fast. You do. Yes, you rap fast. It's true. Now let's see how you rap versus things 1 and 2. And then the super high pitched voice modification for the thing. Oh no, we'll smash your globe. Yo, you may have wrote the script, but now we're running the show. You can take your fancy words and send them back home to your mama. Break our foot off in your ass with our feety pajamas.
So that's also a reference to the fact that the Globe Theater burned down. And so the Globe Theater still exists, but it was rebuilt in modern times.
Man, we'll cook you up and eat you with some ham and green eggs. We'll break off of your legs. Make no mistake, we in a rage. All does not end well when we bust out our cage. You get an upstage bill, yo, you just got played. Okay, a lot of play and theater plays on words there.
Yeah.
That's tough because like Shakespeare had the nice flow with that part.
Yeah.
But if you look at like the content of what he's saying, it's not too crazy.
Well, it's particularly because like we can't parse it out either. Where it's like I think those are all I think those are all pretty references to stuff that I'm not overly aware of, or I just don't remember. It might have been something I'd learned about at some point, but.
And then I just really like the Cat in the Hat though, because so I mean it's obviously the stuff you're gonna go for, like you bore people. But I like how he played on it where he's like, even Horton doesn't want to hear you. Cindy Lou Who is afraid to go near you, and then you look the classroom looking like the end of Macbeth.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah, good, solid. There's solid stuff in that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. It's still like
I hath been iambic on that ass, ye bastard.
I do like that line.
Like the things 1 and 2 are not good at all to me. I mean, there are like a couple of funny lines, but
The thing 1 and 2, yeah.
and then the Cat in the Hat, I would say probably my favorite.
I'm not overly keen on that part either. So that's why it's like yeah, I'm looking. Oh, sorry. I was trying to look up stuff about this too.
Alright, so the Cat in the Hat wins for me. Just the Cat in the Hat.
Just the Cat in the Hat,
Not
just
Dr.
straight
Seuss.
up. I think I disagree with you. I think I'm gonna go with Shakespeare on this one actually.
Yeah.
I think because it might just because he ended stronger. Like the flow was really good at that point. And then I probably would give it to Dr. Seuss / his characters, but thing 1 and thing 2 is just I wasn't overly keen on it. I think the fact that the Bard went and did his own thing the whole time was played to his strength. So I'm gonna side with him this time. I think, but it was very close, extremely close.
I think most people
me.
would agree with you, Shakespeare, especially that the really quick flow part. People like that
Yeah.
a lot. But,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next week we'll do another epic rap battle of history. We're closing in on the end of the season 1. Actually,
Very cool.
only 3 left,
Cool.
and then great times ahead.
Damn.
All right. Thank you for watching.
I'm a baller.
Uh,
See
cricket,
ya.
bowler business, and yeah.